Jamod Dilshan and Chardharat Naik, the back three. And four in the middle with Harsha Fernando, Shalna Chamira, Jude Suman and Asikur Rahman. And up front it's Wasim Wazik, Kamd Ishan and Marvin Hamilton starting off up front. Be a surprise change and a very attacking team, a very positive team. So I'm joined in the commentary box by Rahul Madhurava. Good afternoon, Rahul.
Good afternoon, Irshad, and very attacking formation indeed. What do you make of it, Irshad? Almost a 3-4-3.
Yeah, they have gone with a 3-4-3, and in the defensive transition it will become a 5-2-3 or a 5-3-2. So it's early positive signs for Sri Lanka, and already a couple of free kicks coming Sri Lanka's way.
Indeed, positive signs early on, and Sri Lanka coming into this with slight bit of momentum. Had a 6-0 victory in a friendly game, and they gave a good showing against Lebanon in the World Cup qualifiers, scoring 2 goals to their 3. As you see.
Yeah, that's the Bangladeshi coach Oscar Bruzon, who got the job couple of weeks back. Jamie Day stepping away for personal reasons, and Bruzon, the head coach of Bashundhara Kings, where he has about 10 players, and is a good move on the left flank.
Couldn't get it past the man in defense, and it's a throw-in going Bangladesh's way. And as you rightly said, it is the Bashundhara Kings head coach, and they are the championship team, as we see the Sri Lankan head coach Amir Alajek, and it will be a good test for him. This is the tournament that fans have been waiting for since he was appointed over a year ago.
A hefty challenge, as usual. Daxon Puslas never give up, always gives 100%, going along and catching himself along with Bishwas Ghosh.
So he went in with a high foot, but both players had the eye for the ball. So
yeah, I think both of them went looking at the ball, but somehow the referee from Syria, Tawal Feras, taking some notes.
But keeping his cards in his pocket for now. Nasty collision, you don't like to see that. We are seeing a decent crowd gathered and quite a few supporters for Bangladesh, as we see another look at that nasty collision.
Yeah,
both
that's
players.
Suman Raza and Puslas. It's a huge support for Bangladesh. We know there is a huge Bangladeshi presence in Maldives, and also even Sri Lankans. There is a good support for Sri Lanka. There's Chamod Dilshan. Puslas seems to be okay.
Indeed, he is a player who has been in those physical challenges many a time, and he is not one to stay down, as now Bangladesh start from their half again. Sri Lanka playing in their striking blue home kit, Bangladesh in red, as now Bangladesh get the ball downfield and out for a throw-in very high up the field for Bangladesh.
I think the cross straight to Jude Supan's face. So in the defense, you see Sri Lanka having around 5 to 6 players coming back. So it's a good formation to go in the defense. As a long throw seems to be coming in through Bishwas Ghosh. Excellent throw in, and Sri Lanka struggling to clear it away. Finally, they manage an appeal for handball.
Ignored completely by the referee. As you rightly said, it wasn't cleared initially as it should have, as we see the throw in into the box. Bangladesh tried to get a shot away, but couldn't get it past Ducks and Puslas, and eventually it was somewhat cleared away. But once again, another throw in, and once again, Ghosh looking to go long.
So another header flick back. Sujan Pereira collects it. First touch for him of the game. As Sri Lanka now starting from the back. Chalna Chamira and Asikur Rahman have moved into rather Chalna Chamira playing in a midfield role. And Jude Suman just wide. Jamud Dulshan having a warrior's look with the head strapped on.
His height will be key in the defense for Sri Lanka in this game, as we've already seen a few long throw-ins.
Yeah, indeed, even Sri Lanka will ploy this long throw with Harsha Fernando on the field, and Chamod Dilshan, we know, inside the box, a good finisher with his head will be useful, as Tariq Kazi clears it away. And a player to watch out for, Tariq Kazi, has played for Finland under 17, under 18 and under 19. So a lot of international flavor in both the teams.
Good ball there by Bangladesh, but unable to make any of it as it's cleared away for yet another throw-in. And Sri Lanka have been very busy defensively, but still no clear-cut chances for either side. Once again, Bangladesh getting their passes right, taking their time.
Yeah, indeed, it is a game of being patient. You can't force the issue too much. At the initial start, yes. Then once you settle in, you will look into the mistakes of the other team. There's a high ball towards Marvin Hamilton, who was playing up front lately for his club Burgess Hilltown in UK. He's been playing as a centre forward, so probably that is why he's been used.
Sri Lanka need to look to keep hold of the ball once they get it, because Chamod Dilshan did very well just earlier to dispossess Bangladesh, but it was given away fairly quickly. And once again we see Chamod Dilshan. He's known for his strong physicality, and we saw another example of it there, but once again he wins the ball and his teammate just gives it away, as Ducks and Puzzlers in some discomfort.
Yeah, I think they need to have a bit of a composure on the ball. The Sri Lankans at the back. Chalna Chamira giving it away. As 11 minutes and half gone. It's goalless, and like you said, Rahul, not been too many clear-cut opportunities yet. Both teams are, I think, measuring each other out to see when they can make their move. And that, in fact, these teams have not played it for a very long time. The last competitive game, it was a friendly in 2018 when Sri Lanka beat Bangladesh 1-0 in Bangladesh. So good challenge by Kavindu, not able to get that ball. So since then, these two teams haven't played much, even though they played in the SAFF games. That's at a different age level.
That infamous goal by Mohammad Fazal from the halfway line. Sri Lankan fans can't forget it. It has been in the since 2010. Bangladesh have beaten Sri Lanka 4 times, whereas Sri Lanka have returned the favour twice. That 2018 encounter being the last time Sri Lanka pulled off a victory. Their last encounter in a competitive game was in 2020, where they met each other in the Bangabandhu Gold Cup, where Bangladesh came off 3-0 victory. As we see Jude Suman doing well to keep hold of the ball and winning his side a free kick, which Sujan Pereira comes off his box to take it. Sujan Pereira, of course, not just the captain, he has been Sri Lanka's best player over the last so many years, pulling off so many brilliant goalkeeping displays, making numerous saves. As once again Bangladesh winning the ball, but a good sliding tackle by Asikur Rahman at the expense of a throw-in.
good to see the crowd also getting involved. I think around 6,000 spectators are allowed. So you can see good support coming in for both the teams. Maldivians who have lived in Sri Lanka will surely be supporting. But we see a lot of support for Bangladesh as they too trying to keep hold of the ball. Topu, another senior figure for Bangladesh in the back, and skipper Jamal Buya.
Sri Lanka doing well, keeping their shape and not letting Bangladesh get their passes through. As once again, ball now finds their wing back, and now can Bangladesh get something with this? Ahmed. And yet again, Sri Lanka keeping their shape, forcing Bangladesh to go back to their defense. Ahmed looking to put one upfield, headed away defensively, and now coming to Ishan. Winning Sri Lanka a throw-in.
I think from here, Sri Lanka needs to keep the ball. Once you regain the position, we need to keep hold of the ball. We've been giving it away pretty cheaply. The first 2-3 minutes we were more attacking. Now is Chalsa Ratnayaka towards him. Excellent layoff. Jude Suman.
Referee waves play on as ball cleared away and a yellow card.
As referee came back now, he gave the advantage to go on. Jude Suman couldn't capitalize. So Yasin Arafat first to go into the books of Mr. Tawil. So he has to be careful. Just 16 minutes gone. He's in the books already and playing a defensive role. That could put you in a position where you don't want to challenge too much.
Wasim fortunately up and running once again. He has been the man in form for Sri Lanka over the last few matches.
And I think that could be one of the reasons where he's closely marked. Bangladeshis know who are the players to mark. I'm sure they are keeping an extra eye on Wasim. They would have seen him how he played back in Germany as well. And it's the confirmation of Yasin Arafat.
Goalkeeper came off his box. A risk that paid off as he now tries to clear. Chalna Chamira unable to, Jude Suman, I beg your pardon, unable to make much of an impact as now Bangladesh trying to do something from the wings. Good 1-2 pass and a cross into the box, easily into the arms of Sujan Pereira.
That's bread and butter stuff for Sujan Pereira. Just coming across.
Not enough to face a goalkeeper of his caliber. As Bangladesh, good bit of defensive work by the Sri Lankan centre backs there. Yes, the referee.
That's Mohammad Ibrahim having a shove at Chalna Chamira, and once again Sri Lanka will start from the back.
Dushan tried something there, wasn't successful as Ducks and Puzzlers. Holds it off, but is passed straight back to Bangladesh. But does well, and now he gets it off to Kamin Dushan. Asikur winning his team a free kick taken quickly. Suman finds Wasim inside the Bangladesh half and wins Sri Lanka another free kick.
Yeah, I think the role of Yasin Arafat is to be with Wasim Razik. It's the second time he has fouled. He has to be careful, as I said earlier. He's already in the books, and once again a good position to send in the ball into the box. We have the height. Marvin Hamilton, Chamod Dilshan, They all can attack the ball in air. So we'll have to wait and see if we see any of those getting into the box. We can see Charita Ratnayaka and Chamod Dilshan both up along with Marvin and Asikur. So good opportunity, a good delivery from Chalna Chamira. It's going to be Wasim. So good delivery. Could
Chamod Dilshan staying back for now. I think he's going to make that late run in. As Wasim Razik waiting.
Yeah, I have a feeling he will be the target, but unfortunately not clearing the first line of defense as another shot comes in. Not troubling Anisur Rahman's goal, Arsha Fernando, from his weaker foot. So Anisur Rahman Ziko, the goalkeeper for Bangladesh. Another player from Bashundara Kings.
Good work by Wasim Razik as well. He's known for his pace and dribbling, and so far the Bangladesh defense have struggled with it, and he has won Sri Lanka a number of free kicks so far. As once again another throw in Bangladesh's half for Sri Lanka. Tariq unable to keep the ball within the field of play. It will be Jude Zuman. Minutes gone, as not the best of throws as Bangladesh winning it back. The long through ball, test of pace, ducks and pushless. Good work from him. He knew he was losing that race and he ended up clearing the ball.
Yeah, initial touch from Asikur Rahman, giving that ball away. He didn't anticipate Bangladesh to pounce on him. So another long throw. We've seen the earlier two long throws troubling a bit the Sri Lankan defenders. Here you see Daxon Pusless making sure that Suman doesn't go anywhere. A wild effort by the skipper, Jamal Bhuya. So it's been thrice the long throw has troubled the Sri Lankan defense, so you need to be careful giving away those throw-ins close to the 12-yard box.
Indeed, fortunately for Sri Lanka, Sujan not really tested as of yet, but on the other end, neither has the goalkeeper Zico, as the ball to Hamilton headed away just in time.
I think Hamilton still to get a touch on the ball. It's been all Wasim, Razik and Kavindu up front. Now here's Chamod Dilshan. What can he do? Asikur Rahman looking to thread that ball, not anticipated by Harsha Fernando. Just to be upset with Harsha a bit.
Not on the same wavelength on that occasion. And I think we saw Hamilton just dropping back a little to try and get the ball, because staying up front, it's not really coming to him. But we'll see. It's still very early stages, of course, as Hamilton challenged for it there, but Bangladesh going back to Zico. Topo Barman very calm and collected on the ball. Yeah. Checks his options and goes back to the goalkeeper. Bangladesh, of course, taking their time. Still very early stages in the first half. It has been pretty even so far, you have to say, from both sides.
Yeah, the play has been in the midfield, and both teams are guilty of giving it away. Here's Hamilton dropping so far down.
I think Hamilton really should have tried to return the ball to Kavindu Ishan when he got it. Kavindu was making the run, but failed to make that connection. And Bangladesh now have the ball back. But Sri Lanka have done well holding their shape defensively, which has forced Bangladesh really to pass it around the back, unable to properly find a long pass or find the players ahead. As now ball to the midfield, and now Bangladesh attempting an attack through the wings. Can he get past his man? Good tackle there by the Sri Lankan Harsha Fernando, and cleared away for a Bangladeshi throw-in. But that's the type of defensive work we like to see. He wasn't afraid to get stuck in to his man, and he made the challenge. And now Bangladesh once again from their half. Defensively, you have to say this has been a very heartening performance by the Sri Lankans. As once again Bangladesh trying to launch an attack. Once again Sri Lanka doing well to cut it off, but the ball still with Bangladesh.
I think it's the Bangladeshi players who are not really happy with the decisions gone so far against them. As we see now, looks like Harsha Fernando feeling the heat. It is quite hot and humid in Male. Game kicking off at 4 p.m. Maldives time, and Sri Lanka Football bringing you this live and exclusive coverage along with Supreme TV as pressing too much.
They need to get in there, because when a challenge or when there's a loose ball, they need to be right there to try and take advantage of that. But for in that instance, for example, Hamilton was absent, and the chance went begging as now Chamod Dilshan letting the ball run out for a goal kick. Who do you think would be the happier of the two teams at the moment, Irshad?
I'm sure neither team would be happy, because in terms of holding to the position of the ball, both the teams have failed. You see once again giving that ball away. Sri Lanka, who haven't played much football for a long time, will be the happier team, but you can see the positions up 27 minutes gone. The stats showing 75% of the ball with Bangladesh.
Indeed, as you rightly mentioned earlier, Irshad, I think Sri Lanka need to just try to keep hold of possession and do a bit of short passing without always going for the long ball, as they did there. And once again, it's not working in their favor. Once they get position in their favor and get the rhythm going, maybe then they can look for the long ball rather than immediately going for it and losing possession in dangerous areas, as now Bangladesh.
It's Sri Lanka all with the defensive work.
The ambitious effort there by number 21 Rakib Hossain, but nowhere enough to trouble Sujan Pereira. You can see ducks and pusslers.
Yeah, indeed, even that's what Daxon is saying to his players: keep the ball and don't give it away so cheaply. Let Bangladesh work hard to get the ball. You see plenty of space for Charita to come up.
Absolutely, because when Sri Lanka is chasing position, that tires out the players more in such heat and in such hot conditions. If we can keep hold of position, we can try to tire out the Bangladesh players a little quicker, as Kavin Vishan. As we see the Bangladesh doing a good job passing the ball around, not giving possession away.
Yes, we're still waiting for the first shot on target by either team. Bangladesh having 78% of the position still. Not a shot on target as this cross come in. Charita Ratnayaka clears it away. Suman Raza was waiting for that ball to drop. Charita does well to clear it away.
Indeed, good defensive work by Charita Ratnayaka, and then once again the effort by Javil Rana. Again a little too ambitious and out for a goal kick as the half an hour mark is passed. Still 0-0 in Maldives in the opening game of the SAFF Championship 2021. Both these teams having won the SAFF Championship once previously. Sri Lanka in 1995, Bangladesh in 2003.
Once again now Daxon trying a long ball and giving that position back to Bangladesh.
Long ball tactic really not working. They need to try a few short passes and keep hold of position as Bangladesh. The true ball working on that occasion. And a cross into the box. A good bit of defensive work once again by Charita, and now Sri Lanka. They need to just keep hold of position. Long ball to Charita on that occasion.
At the back three you can see trying to find an opener, and once again Chamod Dilshan's pass into no man's land, and Ansur Rahman just recycling it. Bangladesh, they are getting into a habit of Sri Lanka giving it away, and they recycle from the back.
Indeed, Bangladesh have nothing to worry when Sri Lanka keep attempting long balls like that into no man's land, because it started off well with the back three passing it short, and then it was all thrown away. But
I think the midfielders need to get involved a bit more. You see Marvin Hamilton dropping all the way into the midfield, looking for Wasim. Double teamed over there, Tariq Kazi. Excellently won by Wasim. Goes into the box, gets across. Defended by Yasin Arafat, who has been on Wasim's toes. He was looking for partners. Wasim trying out for somebody to run into that box. And nevertheless, Sri Lanka have a corner, the first corner of the game. And here's an opportunity for the likes of Chamod Dilshan and Marvin Hamilton to take advantage.
that was brilliant by Wasim Razik. He got past the man, got into the box, but just didn't have enough support when he could have got the shot away, the pass away. But now he did well to win his side corner. And let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity. Chalna Chamira.
Yeah, good delivery is what we need. We have got a few free kicks, but not able to clear the first defense. This cross coming in. Chamod Dilshan was the target. Danger not over. Kavindu claiming for a handball. Referee says plays on, and Bangladesh on the counter attack. Well defended all the way. Asikur Rahman. Sujan almost giving that ball away.
You could say it was a good bit of defending in the end. He
got a bit lucky as well.
Extremely lucky, but that handball call, it was too close to see. And the referee not in the best of positions really either to see it.
And we don't have the luxury of VAR in this championship. So whatever decision made by that main man, it stays. So it was a good positive for Sri Lanka, that corner. A couple of chances. And now we have to build from here.
Absolutely, we need to keep momentum on Sri Lanka's side.
I think there has been a slight change tactically. Marvin Hamilton seems to be in the midfield more often. Kamil Ishan have moved into a centre forward position.
It was a 3-on-2 situation for a moment, as well defended by Daxan Puslas and Wasim Razik, and he once again does well to win his side a free kick.
For a moment I thought that was a bad touch, getting that ball high up. I think he wanted to draw that foul. Sri Lanka start quickly. Marvin Hamilton now come into a familiar role for Fis, as Asikur Rahman has moved into a forward position that looks like a corner. But referee says goal kick. So slight tactical change.
Indeed, I think Marvin Hamilton much more comfortable in the midfield position. He was struggling to get hold of the ball up front, and I think he'll be able to do much more in that midfield position. I think Asikur Rahman has switched, as you rightly said. So it will be interesting to see, because Asikur Rahman is much more attacking minded, as we know.
Yeah, I think it's a good luxury for the team to have as well, where you can swap positions while the game is going on, and in between, as Jude Suman brings that ball down neatly, finds Wasim, who wants to dribble into the box, gets across.
It's a positive signs for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, in the last 5 to 6 minutes, Sri Lanka have been on the ball and thrived a bit more on the attack, as once again Harsha Fernando winning that ball. Kamindu Ishan looking to take a shot. Kamindu Ishan dribbling his way. Chalna Chamira not able to keep that ball down. And excellent defending as well, I would say. The defenders were careful not to tackle Kamindu, and Chalna Chamira's attempt really well blocked by the Bangladeshi defense.
But yet again another example, Sri Lanka on the front foot clearly in this last 5 minutes or so, and this is what we need. We need to keep the momentum, because this has been a good attacking display. Wasim Razik, Kamindu Ishan on that occasion joining the party, and once again we have a corner kick, and it will be Chalna Chamira. Can he find the tall figure of, but headed away. Jude Suman back to Chalana. Daxan slip, but was
pass shot by Jude Suman. Lucky Fuseless was alert. If not, Suman Raza was lurking around. For a moment I'm thinking why Chalna Chamira is not taking those corners with his left foot. We know he can play with either foot. The first corner he attempted on the right, probably a change the angle of the ball coming in. Nevertheless, on both occasions, not finding the target what he intends for. Bangladesh excellently done by Kavindu winning that ball.
Did well, but that final touch just too heavy, as now Bangladesh.
The game suddenly has opened up a bit more in the closing stages of this first half.
Bangladesh doing well, getting into the box. Sri Lanka failing to clear, but good work in the end, and in the end it's cleared away. Should have cleared it away much faster.
But I think Rakib Hussain gets the better of Chalka Ratnayaka. Could have gone further into the box, but tried looking for his strike partner, Jewel Rana. And Chalna Chamira making sure to get some more time by hacking that ball away.
We have a player down.
Another injury concern for Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan jersey with the new Sri Lanka football logo. Looks neat. Along with the lion flag. There's Charita Ratnayaka.
Suman did well to recover and make the tackle before it was cleared away by Chalna Chamira. As we see, allergic yelling.
You can see some Sri Lankan support as well behind that Sri Lankan bench. It's good to see.
Absolutely. The Golden Army being supported wherever we go. It's always good, and it helps to boost the team's performances and morale, as once again not cleared away initially. And Sri Lanka going back to Sujan Pereira, a Bangladeshi player staying down but play carrying on, and Sujan Pereira requesting his player to put the ball out.
Nothing much on the tackle. Even the assistant on the far side indicating to the referee. And there you see, I think he fell awkwardly and it is head on the ground.
Indeed, I think he just had the wind knocked out of him.
Joel Rana needs some attention. I think the weather has taken a bit of a toll in this first half. Come second half, I'm sure that it will cool down a bit more as we approach the final 5 minutes of this first half. It's been 0-0, and Sri Lanka had some opportunities with the corners. Bangladesh too had some opportunities, but they haven't seen any shot on target or neither goalkeeper being troubled.
Exactly, both teams have done decent job getting into the attacking third of the opposition team, but when it gets to the final third, they haven't been able to get a proper shot off to worry the opposition goalkeeper, as we see some of the Bangladeshi fans making their voices heard. Allergic also making his voice heard. Both teams getting instructions across. Yes, it will be a drop kick to Sri Lanka.
I mean to say a drop ball.
Indeed, mixed up the sport for a second. But Sri Lanka starting from the back.
Looking for support up front. Harsha is asking for his players to move up.
But again, without purely looking for that long ball, they should be trying. As we see, the position has improved a little in Sri Lanka's favour.
But I'm surprised it's not improved drastically. I think Sri Lanka have been keeping the ball quite well in that last 15 minutes.
Indeed.
Probably a 50-50 game.
It was mostly Sri Lanka on the attack in those 10 to 15 minutes, as we see look at the replay. Charita Ratnayaka, not a man to back down from a challenge. It's now Bangladesh. Taking their time, going back to their back line. Barman, long ball. He saw Sujan off his line, but Sujan Pereira not even phased by that attempt. Gives the short pass to Duxon. Less than 2 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half of this first encounter of the SAFF Championship 2021.
I'm sure there will be more at that time as well. You see the foul counts. Bangladesh is being guilty.
Sri Lanka have been
2 minutes of added time will be for all the players needing medical attention, and
Sri Lanka have done a good job. They've been solid defensively and they've been disciplined as well, because that one foul came in that very early stage where Ducks and Puslers had that clash against the Bangladesh play, but other than that, so you see Chaitra Ratnayaka
catches him late. Rakib Hussain.
Can the Golden Army launch one final attack in the first half? As you rightly said earlier, plenty of time should be remaining with minutes added on, but
I think it's a good time to score for any team just before the break.
Absolutely changes the team talk in both sides. Chalna Chamira
Waving around and looking for Wasim. Ball falls to Asikur Rahman. Tries to improvise and gives it away. Here's Bangladesh making sure that Bangladesh don't move further. Sri Lanka now organized at the back.
minimum 3 minutes of added time for the first half. Bangladesh also.
That's about right, the 3 minutes for all the stoppages. Here's Bangladesh now looking to launch an attack of their own. Excellent cross. And that man, Sujan Pereira, making sure score stays level. Yasin Arafat sending that cross. An excellent header and an excellent save. Topu Barman, we know he's good in the air. And running from the back, nobody marked him.
He's a defender known for scoring goals, but Sujan Pereira, what a goalkeeper, time and time again. Opposition attackers have tried, and time again he has pulled off magnificent saves and kept Sri Lanka in it, and that was just another occasion of a brilliant example of the player that Sujan Pereira is.
I'm sure all the Maldivians know about him, even the public who are watching.
Absolutely, he will have his own fans there.
Club Eagles supporters being behind Sujan's goal.
His own set of fans, almost, as Sujan Pereira lining up the goal kick. Time running out in added time for the first half. Thanks to him, the scoreline remaining 0-0 between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. As once again the two Golden Army teammates not on the same wavelength, and Bangladesh winning a throw-in that they take quickly. Both teams know the impact a late goal can make.
And now I think both the teams will not want to concede. They will take their time in taking this free kick, and they know just about a minute left. Go into the shade, have another team talk, change of tactics, come back in the second half. This being the first game of the competition, both teams want to take it cautiously. But 3 points are important for both the teams, and both the teams will know they can get the 3 points from each other. That's where even Sri Lanka having a quite attacking lineup.
Good work by Daxan Puslas, stayed strong. He knew the challenge was coming and he went down when he felt it. As we see Sri Lanka Football's president.
Some of familiar faces over there, including the president of Sri Lanka Football and Mr. Sanat Jayasuriya being among them.
Always there to support Sri Lanka, as referee Tawil Faras blows for half time, and what a half it has been for Sri Lanka as well as for Bangladesh. Neither side could really be separated in that half, but it was that man on your screen, Captain Sujan Pereira, Captain Sri Lanka. His brilliant save right at the end of the first half saw the goal line remain 0-0. A header by defender Topu Barman was headed goal bound, but the diving Sujan Pereira had other things to say about that.
Indeed, half-time confirmation. You can see both the players walk into the dressing room. Sri Lanka nil, Bangladesh nil. Have a look at the stats. See half-time highlights coming your way.
Be important for both coaches to get the team talks right, and we'll be able to see the impacts that they have when the second half starts.
2021 SAFF දකුණු ආසියාතික පාපන්දු ශූරතාවේ ප්‍රථම තරගය අද ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ බංග්ලාදේශය අතර ප්‍රථම භාගයේ අවසානයේදී කණ්ඩායම් දෙකම ගෝල ලබා ගැනීමට හැකිව පළමු අර්ධය නිමා වෙනවා. දෙවන අර්ධයට පැමිණීමට පෙර කණ්ඩායම් දෙක පළමු භාගයේ විශේෂ අවස්ථා වාගේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායම ජන් පෙරේරා නායක ගෝල් රකින්න චරිත රත්නායක දක්ෂිණ පුෂ්පස් චමුත් දිල්ෂාන් චමීර දුත් සුබන් අසිකුර රහමාන් වාගේ විශේෂ අවස්ථා රාශියක් ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමට සෑහෙන අවස්ථාවන් ලැබුණා. ගෝලයක් වාර්තා කර ගැනීමට වගේම සුජන් පෙරේරා දකින්න නවීන් දල්ලකීනෙන් බංග්ලාදේශ කණ්ඩායමට ගෝල ලබා ගැනීමට අවස්ථාවක් තුලා
And that were the highlights for the first half, 0-0, and a good performance by both sides. We'll be back in 15 minutes for live action of the second half. Join us there.
Sri Lanka.
welcome back to second half action on this 2021 SAFF Championship. Live from Maldives, Sri Lanka taking on Bangladesh in this first game, and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh both headed to the sheds 0-0 in the first half. As you can see, some changes gonna happen as Mohammad Fazal being prepared to come into the fray, along with another change for Bangladesh as well.
Fazal, the man who scored from the halfway line in the 2018 encounter, and that possibly could be fresh on all the minds of the Bangladeshi fans and players alike.
Yeah, indeed, and for Bangladesh it's going to be Saaduddin. He's a midfielder who likes to go up front, plays on the right wing. Just waiting to see who the substitution about, and also seems to be some problem with the match officials. I'm still waiting to go onto the field.
I think officials just making sure everything is according to order.
Indeed. So the players just keeping themselves warmed up. There you see Sri Lankan support in the fans.
Always good to see, and it will be an exciting second half. Both teams had a pretty decent first half. No one really had a proper shot on goal except towards the end, Topu Barman for Bangladesh with a good header, which was brilliantly saved by Sujan Pereira. Sri Lanka yet to have their first shot on target. Hopefully second half starts on a positive note. Bangladesh had bulk of possession in the first half, and Sri Lanka will need to do well to try and change that in the second half.
Yeah, I think by the looks of it, Harsha Fernando, I can't see him on the field, so that could be the change. And either Chalna Chamira dropping into that position, and Fazal slotting in the middle. The Bangladeshi defense, not that they are the best defender in this competition, so a player like Fazal can easily break that or unlock the back three. And of course Wasim Razik and Kavindu with their pace can chase down anything that Fazal sends. As the Bangladeshi change, it's going to be Saaduddin, but first it's going to be the Sri Lankan change.
It looks like it'll be Asikur Rahman who is coming off to be replaced by Mohammad Fazal.
Fazal replacing Asikur Rahman in the midfield.
Team Sri Lanka.
So the formation remains
Jersey number 8,
only a
Asikur
better
Rahman, replaced by jersey number
playmaker
14, Mohammad Fazal.
in the middle.
I think from the looks of it, Fazal will be slotted in the forward position because Hamilton dropped back into Rahman's position earlier. So it will be interesting to see how Allergic and Sri Lanka go about their business.
Yeah, from what I saw, when Hamilton dropped in the midfield, Sri Lanka had much more of possession than Hamilton being up front.
Indeed, which is why I think Hamilton will need to stay back. So it will be interesting to see where Fazal slots in to that mix. But a player,
we're gonna have both Kavindu and Wasim going from the middle as a 4-4-2 formation. But formations doesn't matter actually.
Substitution for Team Bangladesh. Jersey number 15, MD
of
Jevarana, replaced by jersey
go
number
along with the
22,
play.
MD Saaduddin.
absolutely, and a player of Mohammad Fazal's experience and caliber can be extremely important in the second half to Sri Lanka.
So we all set for the second half to kick off, and that's Bangladesh who's kicking off. from left to right in your screen on all red and Sri Lanka in all blue. Fast start immediately by Bangladesh. Chamut Dilshan making sure he does his defensive duties.
We will be able to see the effect that the different team talks that the coaches gave to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, what effect they had in the opening minutes of this second half.
The experience of Fazal is needed as Harsha Fernando mistimes his header. First touch for Saduddin wins a throw-in. We saw in the first half those long throws. It was troubling Sri Lanka. So they're going to have a deal with another. Long throw coming in, cleared away by Puceless. And Puceless following that ball up and winning a free kick.
Good work by Daxon on that occasion. Winning a easy free kick. And now Sri Lanka need to rectify what they didn't do in the first half and use this as a chance to try and keep hold of possession. What they did in the first half was keep trying to boot the ball forward and ended up losing possession. And on this occasion, the free kick not really working out, and Bangladesh winning themselves a free kick of their own, taken quickly. Heavy touch, but good work by the Bangladeshis to keep hold of possession. Harsha Fernando made the block, but still possession with Bangladesh as they go for the long ball.
Hiked away by useless Wasim Razik giving chase. Tariq Qazi not dealing with it, and Wasim brings it down. Chalna Chamira was trying to release Charita, not getting his radars correct.
Charita was well offside and he knew it, but I think Wasim Razik clearly from the first half to now has been the most threatening player for Sri Lanka, as we saw again on that occasion. But he needs support up front because he can't do it alone. But Sri Lanka struggling to hold on to possession really, as a defensive header sees a free kick going Bangladesh's way, waved by the linesman. As we see who came off for Bangladesh was number 15, Joel Rana, in place of Saad. Let's see what that substitution has on effect for Bangladesh, as free kick not struck well. Daxon headed it away, and now it's Kavindo.
Kavindo looking for Wasim. Wasim strong and wins the ball.
Wasim goes down, but nothing doing.
I think this time the referee knew what Wasim was trying to do. Yes, Fazal. Excellently done by Tariq Qazi, the opposite number.
Suman going back to his goalkeeper, Sujan. Kavindu Ishan.
Well taken by Kavindu. Tries a long shot. Agonizingly close. He saw the goalkeeper off his line. Anisur Rahman took that shot early. Excellent attempt. Awareness by Kavindu to see the goalkeeper off his line.
Shades of Mohammad Fazal back in 2018, but on that occasion just couldn't get it down in time. But I think if it had come down in time, I think the goalkeeper just had it covered. But good thinking by Kavindu, but didn't pay off, as now Bangladesh with a throw-in high up the field. taking their time.
Yeah.
Vishwanath Ghosh taking it and headed away defensively for yet another throw-in.
Yeah, he's the one who's been taking these long throws. Mind you, we have a young talent in the name of Dylan De Silva on the bench. Plays for Queen's Park Rangers. I'm sure the coach has something up his sleeve as Sujan Pereira punches it away. And wide off the target. So probably coming into the final 20, you can see, you expect Dylan to be on the field with his pace.
Absolutely, 19-year-old Dylan De Silva, as you rightly said, plays in the second division of England, and with his pace and skill, he would be a very big threat to a tiring defense of Bangladesh if Allergic brings him on in the closing stages. But better not to keep it too late as the header to Kavindu. Kavindu doing well to keep hold of possession, goes down and wins his side a free kick. Complaints by Vishwanath Ghosh that Kavindu went down a little too easily, but I think Kavindu did well. He knew the challenge was coming and got between the ball and the defender, and now Sri Lanka have a free kick towards the edge of the area.
Yeah, I think with Fazal on the field, you can expect a good delivery into the box for Chamod Dilshan or Marvin Hamilton. But commentators curse, ball straight into the wall.
Not quite sure if it was Fazal who took it, as Sujan well off his line. Hoik's ball, and it was Fazal. Fazal was there but couldn't get the ball. As now Harsha Fernando, Kavindu wasn't able to link up with Chamod Dilshan on that occasion.
Chamod Dilshan going too heavy and committing a foul.
Not enough pace by Chamod Dilshan on that occasion. Couldn't link up with Kavindu, as now Bangladesh have a chance to start once again from the back.
Long ball towards Suman Raza. Not able to keep that ball in play. So it's been the same as the first half, the action. Both teams not really keen in keeping possession. Both teams giving it away pretty cheaply. There's another long ball coming towards Kavindu, cleared away, and ball given back once again to Bangladesh.
Just like in the first half, going for those long balls, and just like in the first half, they are not working. As
Attempt, I think it's a penalty, as a handball. Look, by the looks of it, you see in the replay, Chamod Dilshan along with Pusless handling the ball. And a penalty for Bangladesh.
that was what Sri Lanka didn't need. They were doing very well defensively. They were holding on, and of all the unfortunate ways that it could have come about, it came on a handball, and Sujan Pereira, who made a brilliant save late in the first half, is once again called into action, and he needs to be the hero for all Sri Lankans once again as we see the replay.
I think Pusless let that ball bounce, and that bounce he couldn't handle, and he put his hand out. Should have dealt with it before it bounced. Cardinal rule for defenders: don't let the ball bounce in front of them. As Bangladesh having an opportunity to take the lead in this first match of SAFF Championship 2021. We are in the second half, and looks like it's going to be Topu Burman
who can hold a nerve, and it's the Bangladeshis who open the scoring. No mistake from the penalty spot, and indeed Topu Barman, the man who created the opportunity in the first half, which was saved by Sujan Pereira, gives Sujan Pereira absolutely no chance on this occasion. And Topu Barman opens the scoring for Bangladesh, and it's Bangladesh 1, Sri Lanka 0 in the 55th minute. And a very unfortunate way for Sri Lanka that it came about in form of a penalty. A very good penalty, it has to be said. He sent Sujan Pereira the wrong way and hit it perfectly into the corner. And for a defender, that is a brilliant penalty indeed. But Sri Lanka have over half an hour left to answer back and get at least a draw from this. Plenty of time in football, that is.
I think now it's a matter of keeping your head cool
Goal for Bangladesh by
in search of
jersey number 4,
goals.
Topu
You should not
Barman.
expose you at your back. I'm sure still plenty of time left for the Lankans to come back.
Absolutely, and with what we discussed earlier with the likes of Dylan De Silva waiting and ready on the bench as Wasim Razik.
An attempt by Chalna Chamira. For a moment I thought he would lash his left leg, but he went with his right.
He had a chance in the first half as well, and he skied that as well, and once again had the golden opportunity.
That
They
was
need
the
to
penalty incident. Useless handled that ball.
Sri Lanka, when they get the opportunity, they need to at least keep the ball on target. Yet to have a shot on target. 57 minutes gone, as it seems that the sky has opened up.
Yeah, I think the rain from Colombo has headed to Male, and it's going to make things difficult for Sri Lanka.
It's as they
With
say,
the heavens opening up.
it's as they say, wherever Sri Lankans go, the rain follows them. And compared to the blistering heat that we witnessed in the first half, now the players have to deal with completely different conditions. They'll have a wet outfield, as just taking a look at that replay.
There was a slight push by the Bangladeshi player Mohammad Ibrahim as well on Puceless, but that ever so slight.
Indeed, and without the second viewing of VAR, referee gave what he saw initially, and it will be interesting to see how this rain affects the game. Sri Lanka have just over half an hour plus added time remaining. They need to answer back and answer back quickly. Topu Barman, the man on your screen, opened the scoring for Bangladesh. Yes, now Sujan Pereira looking to rally his troops from the back.
Chamod Dilshan once again looking to find Kavindu with the long ball. That has not worked, and Sri Lanka yet to change their game plan. I can say they haven't tried anything different, as unnecessarily Bangladeshi player, I think Suman Raza, going into the book, is trying to stop Charita playing that ball quickly. Saying Sri Lanka haven't looked as they have their plan B.
Indeed, they came into the second half playing the exact same way they played in the first half, and it's not working. These long balls have not worked. They just keep wasting position, giving it back to Bangladesh. They need to pass it short, keep hold of position and get a rhythm going. That's now Mohammad Fazal. And once again, two teammates not on the same wavelength. As you see, Wasim Razik very upset. Sri Lanka
I
need
think
to.
the ideal role for Fazal would be in the midfield rather than up front. There seems to be a substitution happening. We can see Marvin Hamilton coming off.
Just waiting to see who is coming on. Bangladesh, of course, taking their sweet time, and it looks like it's that man, Dylan De Silva.
Sri Lanka.
We were
Jersey
speaking
number
about him,
15,
and finally he has been
Hamilton,
called into
replaced by
action.
jersey number 10, Dylan De
Break
Silva.
away for Bangladesh. This time Harsha Fernando clearing it. And the waves getting heavier as Dylan De Silva makes way. Rather, Marvin Hamilton makes way, and Dylan De Silva now comes into that striker position. This was what we were discussing, I think, off the mic, that Fazal in the midfield and Dylan up front will be ideal for this game.
Indeed, now the game can really open up with Dylan's pace, skill. They need to get him the ball, however. Sujan coming way off his line. Going for the long ball. Sri Lanka temporarily managed to keep hold of position, but once again quickly giving it back, and now Bangladesh on yet another counter attack. Referee playing advantage and not pulling it back, as now Fazal going for yet another long ball. Goalkeeper saw danger of Dylan De Silva and came off his line.
Yeah, with the heavens opening up, even the game has opened up. Fazal, just Dylan with his first touch, finds the referee. So it's going to be a drop ball.
Dylan rightly wasting no time, but referee pulling the ball back. Referee wasn't happy with the position the drop ball was taken. As players slipping and sliding in the rain. Kavindu Ishan plays a long ball, but finds Wasim. Wasim staying strong, staying on his feet. Brilliant work by Wasim yet again. Kavindu Ishan inside the box, and no support. Sees Bangladesh able to clear it away. Kavindu did well to get there, but without the support of his teammates could do absolutely nothing, as Sujan's long ball.
Yeah, I think with all that highlights coming up in this penalty, we missed out. Daxon Puslers were actually sent off for a second yellow card. And Sri Lanka now down to 10 for this 30 minutes. Confirmation coming in very late. It was off the cameras. So Sri Lanka need to regroup at the back. Second yellow card offense, giving away that penalty. Pusless.
In all the mayhem, we didn't even notice that because it wasn't even on the cameras. But that's another huge disadvantage for the Golden Army. Down a goal and now down to 10 men. And Pusless was one of the stronger players defensively, as now Harsha Fernando. Dylan De Silva unable to really keep hold of possession. And now Bangladesh with that man advantage on the counter attack. It's a 2-on-2 situation, but a good bit of tackling.
Excellent defending by Charita and Chamod. You see putting Saaduddin out and blocking it away. Chamod Dilshan.
Indeed, that was the substitute who came on in the second half. Saad, he tried to get past Chamod, but Chamod stayed with the man, and he did well to block it out at the expense of a corner. But now, with the man advantage, Sri Lanka will have to do very well defending this set piece opportunity. And the height of Chamod Dilshan will be a key factor. Sujan Pereira came off his line and punched it out for another corner.
Yeah, slightly off time, barking his orders to the players. He has to get this team regrouped. Down to 10 men, down 1 goal. About 35 minutes, 25 minutes to go rather.
Indeed, and even though they're a man down, Sri Lanka, if they play their cards right, there is still at least a draw in this, because 25 minutes in the game of football is plenty of time for at least 1 goal. As another corner kick, this time just too strong for Bangladesh and unable to keep it within the fields of play, and Sujan Pereira will look to try and take his goal kick a little quickly, and indeed that is what he does. As now Mohammad Fazal once again looking for the long ball, once again the long ball failing, however. As now Bangladesh, Dylan De Silva went for the ball but giving away a foul. As you take a look at the replay.
Yeah, cynical foul on Saaduddin.
Not much contact, but it was enough for Saad to go down, and rightfully a free kick awarded. And in these wet conditions, it will be tougher for the Sri Lankan players, but they are running out of time. They need to try and step on the pedal, as unnecessary bit of collision by Ibrahim, and of course Chamod Dilshan, not a man to back away from a fight.
But this is unnecessary. You just need to get on with the game. You go into referee's book. You're down to 10 men. You need to be careful. You're playing as a defender. Okay. There was Sujan and Ibrahim colliding, but Chamod Dilshan unnecessary.
Chamod Dilshan would just say he was defending his captain, but of course being down to 10 men, there is a time and a place, and this is neither a time or the place. With Sri Lanka a goal down and down to 10 men, he is a man who has lost his cool before, and it has cost the teams he's played for. That's something he really needs to improve in his game, as he's now into the referee's book as well, and now he needs to be careful, because another yellow for him would mean Sri Lanka down to 9 men, and that's not something that the Golden Army needs. As Harsha Fernando wins a free kick for his side, approaching the 70-minute mark, and
that's more than a couple of knocks Harsha has taken. It doesn't look good, as Sujan Pereira moves ahead and sends that long ball. Looking for Wasim. Wasim haven't been on the game in this second half as it was in the first. There's hardly been any service towards him, and Fazal is one guy who can do that.
Absolutely, and just like Wasim, they need to try and get the ball to the likes of Dylan De Silva as well.
And this silly foul's not happening, not helping Sri Lanka rather. Once again, Chalna Chamira now, the guilty party. Just putting his hand across.
Bangladesh knowing what they have to do to just win these simple fouls, as the ball cleared away by Chamod Dilshan. And the fact that Daxan Puslas got a red card would mean that he will miss the next game against
the game against Nepal.
Indeed, and he will be a key player missed for that encounter, seeing this is a tournament where Sri Lanka have 4 games in total to play, and they need all their key players. As Sujan Pereira went down but quickly got back up, as the ball by Harsha Fernando, a very poor one, but Bangladesh not able to capitalize on it as quickly as they would have liked, but they win themselves a corner.
I think that all started with Sujan Pereira losing his footing, as Charita Ratnayaka now taking that ball straight. Harsha Fernando, he's been a man who's been in the wars, from the first half.
He's been putting his body on the line, as you rightly said, taking blow after blow, and hopefully he will be okay. You can see, despite being a goal up, the Bangladeshi head coach still yelling out his tactics and instructions to his team, and the fans keep making their voice heard. Amir Algic as well. Still more substitutions remaining for both teams if they want to take it.
Indeed, looking at the Sri Lankan bench, I'm looking for a game changer who can come and create a different aspect. So all players more or less similar styles. Mohammad Shifan making his debut for the national team could be an option with his pace, and coming off a season where he has scored some goals for his club. That's an option, and also not forgetting Mohammad Akib. There's plenty of pace up front. Sri Lanka need to do something different.
The youngster Mohammad Akib, with his pace, is a proven goal scorer for club and country. As the rain,
Tariq Qazi doing the right thing, making sure Wasim Razik don't go past him. He was left alone with Wasim, with the long ball of Sujan coming in. Just made sure he doesn't go past him.
just less than 20 minutes remaining of regulation time, as Mohammad Fazal standing over this free kick. Takes it very quickly, but straight to the Bangladeshi defender. And now Kavin Dushan from distance, straight to a defender as well. Sri Lanka looking to regroup, going back to their defense. Mohammad Fazal over the top ball, once again not working in Sri Lanka's favour, and now Bangladesh looking to launch an attack of their own.
Yeah, Topu Barman, the goal scorer. I think late call on a handball. I think the assistant referee talking to Mr. Tawil Feras.
No,
You see,
that's a yellow card, not just a handball. That was a clear handball. And
so rightly so, Sri Lanka gets a free kick and in a very good position. As I'm sure Dylan De Silva will fancy it.
I'm pretty sure if
Quite
that call was not made late, that would have been a definite yellow card, because he clearly, with the intention of handling it, went into there, but maybe was able to get away with it due to it being a very late call. But as you rightly said, as we see a couple of substitutions for Bangladesh, it looks like it will be
Substitution for Team Bangladesh. Jersey number
9
7,
who is coming
MP
on.
Suman Reza, replaced by jersey number 9,
Mateen Mia.
as well as it looks like number 10 was getting ready as well. Rahman Sufil,
Yeah, Mahbub Rahman, the number 10.
he's there.
Also another player from Bashundhara Kings. Now that substitute too happening with Mohammad Ibrahim. Had a good game, being replaced by Mahbub Rahman.
Substitution for Team
And Rahman
Bangladesh.
is the
Jersey
leading
number
goal
6,
scorer in the
Jamal
current Bangladesh
Bhuyan,
squad with
replaced
5
by
goals,
jersey
so
number 10,
an attacking
Mahbub
change.
Rahman.
Yeah, indeed, Bangladesh coach Oscar Bruzon, knowing Sri Lanka playing only 10 men, has brought in 2 attacking players as Dylan De Silva wasteful on that occasion with the free kick.
He tried to go low, but nothing worked his way. As now Bangladesh once again will start from the back.
Yeah, good header by Chamod Dilshan. Lanka need to get a hold of the ball. Once again, a late challenge.
And the yellow
A
card.
Yellow card for Rakib.
If I can
Rakib
pull your
Hussain.
attention back to that earlier handball incident by Topu Barman. What do you make of the fact that that was not a yellow card, but the penalty decision for Daxan Puslas was a yellow card, even though that handball was not really intentional?
I think similar. It's how the referee reads and judges. Yes, Kavindu dropped down a bit to get the ball. Not getting much service as the throw-in goes in Sri Lanka's favour. So you can see a bit of urgency with the Lankans.
Indeed, they know that time is running out for them as Bangladesh winning the ball back. But good work by Dylan De Silva. He came to the midfield and won the ball back, and he's doing well, dribbling past a number of players. The ball still with Sri Lanka.
Wasim!
And
It's a block, and for a moment I thought that ball was heading towards the net.
a vital block on that occasion. Dylan De Silva, the man who started it, he did well. And then Wasim Razik, Kavin Vishan in fact shouldered it, and then a very crucial intervention by the defender made it easy for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think if wasn't for Topu Barman's block, that ball surely would have hit the back of the net. There you see Anisur Rahman, the goalkeeper, was flat-footed.
But that is the kind of attacking intention that the Golden Army needs. Just under 15 minutes remaining, and Sri Lanka know that they are running out of time as both players going down, but referee waving play on. Bangladesh breaking into the box. Striker went down, but the flag going up for offside against the number 9 for Bangladesh. And it will be Sujan Pereira once again. But what a good bit of dribbling that was by Dylan De Silva to create that opportunity for Wasim Razik earlier.
Yeah, you have to see more of that, and Dylan needs to be supplied with that deliveries for him to make the runs, as Chamod Dilshan being clumsy. Lucky to come away with that.
Not sure what happened there. He didn't do his defensive duties as tidily as he could have been, and took time clearing it, as now Sri Lanka once again Chalna Chamira going all the way back to Sujan Pereira. Mohammad Fazal now going for the long ball. He finds Dylan De Silva on this occasion. Dylan once again.
Yeah, that's his way. Cut back in, try to make a shot from his right, as Fazal tries to draw a foul. Referee
It was right in
next to it, making nothing out of it. So Dylan looking to cut back in.
Sri Lankan head coach not happy with the decisions, but what can you do, as now the goalkeeper Dylan did cut back in, as you said, but in the end I think took a touch too many before passing the ball off, which gave Bangladesh the chance to get it away from him.
I think he has the pace to go around the defender. So there's another change coming in, and like I said, that's going to be Mohammad Shifan, who is replacing.
Substitution for Team Sri Lanka. Jersey number 7, Kavindu Ishan, replaced by jersey number 9,
So a
Mohammad
debut
Shifan.
for Mohammad Shifan. The striker from Upcountry Lions, the boy from Avanella. It's always a big occasion when you make your first international debut, and something where his team needs him now.
Absolutely, and what a better opportunity to make a name for himself than when his team needs a goal in the SAFF Championship opening game. And taking off Kavin Vishan, I think it's fair to say that Kavin Vishan didn't have the best of games today.
But he gave all his out.
Absolutely.
Saw him running for the ball, coming
I
from
think it
down
was
to get the ball.
just that he was defended very well. They knew he was a danger man and they made sure he was covered all the time. As a header,
Attempted flick by the substitute Mia. Sujan Pereira had it covered, I'm sure. So the final 10 minutes plus added time. We haven't had much stoppages in the second half. So Sri Lanka need to go all out. Remember, this is competition with 5 teams and every team playing each other. Points are really important, and the top 2 going on to the final.
indeed, so every point is important when only the top 2 teams will make it. So if Sri Lanka can somehow claw at least a point from this, it will be a massive result. As Sri Lanka clearing their lines on the second occasion but not clearing it well. Bangladesh,
Excellently done and well defended eventually by Jude Suman. Biplo Ahmad haven't been in the game much. You haven't seen him with the ball, but when the occasion came, he made a beautiful dribble and shot at goal, blocked. As Bangladesh keeping position on the side where they want to keep the ball on Sri Lankan half. Sujan Pereira, you can see the urgency. The skipper trying to release Wasim. Excellent touch. Yes, Shifan.
oh, Wasim's touch just too heavy. Oh, Shifan, I beg your pardon.
I think the occasion got to him a bit. We know he has pace. Both Wasim and Shifan both plays for the same club, so they have the understanding. So it's all out attack by Sri Lanka now.
Shifan did well to get into that position, but that final touch just letting him down. A little too heavy. As now Bangladesh, they aren't content with just the 1 goal. They want to add another to try and secure their advantage and have a comfortable lead. But Sri Lanka have time to try and get that equalizer. Despite being a man down, they have played their hearts out. They haven't played like a team who are a man down, to their credit. But Bangladesh haven't made it easy. As yet another throw-in going in their favour.
Bangladesh won't mind this, keeping the ball inside Sri Lankan half. They know Sri Lanka is going all out attack and they have a space at the back.
That cross failing to find a teammate. See the replay. He found one, but the touch far too heavy by Rakib Hossain. And we saw the urgency by Sujan Pereira to quickly get a ball to get play underway. As once again, ball going Bangladesh's way. Time running out for the Sri Lankans here in this opening game. Sri Lanka need a hero to step up to the plate and put something our way, as Bangladesh, of course, going down in cramp. Seems to be a recurring team with teams that are 1-0 up in the late stages of any game. Referee Tawil Faras quickly getting on top of the situation as Bangladesh waiting to take their throw in. Going for a long throw, Fazal headed it away, and a long range effort
Not
by
too far away, one would say.
absolutely Saad there from long way out, but just over the target. He had Sujan a little worried for a second, but fortunately for the Sri Lankans, it was off target, as once again poor bit of passing and teamwork there sees Bangladesh win the ball back. There's less than 5 minutes of regulation time now remaining on the clock, and strong tackle by Chamud Dilshan. But of course Bangladesh will take this, they'll take their time, they will take all the throw-ins that Sri Lanka want to give them.
For Team Bangladesh.
Sri Lanka need to get the
Jersey
ball
number
to the
8,
other end, they
Vipul
need to
Ahmad,
create
replaced by
opportunities,
jersey number 19,
they
Mohammad
need
Atikur
something to happen
Rahman.
inside the opposition box, but as it stands for the last so long it has been all Bangladesh really. Let's see it, another long throw in straight to Sujan Pereira, who tries to send the Golden Army on their way.
Shifan winning that ball really well. Now here's Fazal. Mohammad Shifan once again. Chalna Jamira. Harsha Fernando. To Dylan in this left wing. Will make his run. Will try to dribble pass. Excellent cross coming through. Bazim couldn't find Shifan.
Not enough support in the box on that occasion, as Sujan has to come all the way out of his box to take care of that, and the wet conditions still seeming to affect the Sri Lankan players, as the ball going all the way back to the goalkeeper, who heaves it downfield.
Yeah, Harsha Fernando doing well.
Sri Lanka running out of time, and
Chalna Chamira puts that ball out because of an injury, as we can see Mohammad Akib now being prepared to come in. I'm just waiting to see who he will replace.
a good substitution, but a substitution that maybe should have happened a little earlier, but there is still time on the clock, and Mohammad Akib with his pace, if Sri Lanka can get hold of the ball, might be able to do something. As Bangladesh with a throw-in, taken short this time.
And like it's Jude Suban who has come off for Mohammad Akib.
Rightfully an attacking change, as Chaitra Ratnayaka did well there to clear the danger. Bangladesh, they know they just need to keep hold of possession, and they are doing just that, taking their time, cross out for a corner via Harsha Fernando. We are nearing added time, it's just waiting to see how much of that the referee adds on, as Bangladesh will take the corner short. Break into the box and unknowingly really deflected away. Deflected well by, I think it was Mohammad Fazal, out for yet another corner however. And Bangladesh will happily take the minutes added on, wasted.
Indeed, it's full time, and we are waiting on the minutes added. As Bangladesh, Jamal Bouya switching play all the way to the left. They would want to keep position as 4 minutes added time for Sri Lanka to salvage a point. Need one goal.
But Sri Lanka need to first get hold of position, and Bangladesh are doing a good job keeping the ball away from the Golden Army. And Sri Lanka need to react quickly. Sujan Pereira doing well, staying strong behind the ball as he heaves it downfield, but straight to the Bangladesh player. Sri Lanka running out of time. They need to step on the gas pedal quickly. Mohammad Aqib finds Dylan De Silva with a good cross ball. Mohammad Fazal. Could this be the opportunity? Dylan De Silva was just in front of the ball and there was no one else inside the box for Sri Lanka.
I think the ball was intended for Wasim Razik by Shifan. Unfortunately not finding him as Bangladesh come away. Jan Pereira not wasting any time. Unfortunately collected the ball slightly ahead out of the box. So it's going to be a free kick for Bangladesh. Signal. You see, but,
I think in his excitement,
came slightly ahead.
he wanted to get the game moving again quickly, but unfortunately backfired on that occasion.
It seems to be all right on that angle. There you see. So the official getting it completely wrong.
He was inside the box when he let go of the ball, so not sure what the linesman was thinking on that occasion, as the ball doing its job. And unfortunately for that, with that call, Bangladesh eating up more minutes that Sri Lanka could have used to try and chase that equalizer. And you can see players are not happy.
Referee chatting away with his assistant. As Saduddin will take that ball into the corner. You know, they just got a minute to play.
Sri Lanka
secure that 3 points.
Sri Lanka need to try and quickly get the ball to the other end. Sujan Pereira coming to the edge of his box again. And once again, ball won back by Bangladesh. The long ball tactic really has not worked for Sri Lanka today. It has played completely in the favor of Bangladesh. And not sure what happened there with.
I think Sujan Pereira was being smart. The ball had not gone out of play. He still had the ball in his hand.
And referee seems to be giving an indirect free kick. You see?
Sujan Pereira had the ball when Bangladesh took that throw in. And he threw that ball intentionally towards
but really
the live ball. He should have put that ball out when the throw-in was taken. Sujan had the ball in his hand.
Realistically, play shouldn't have started until the ball was out, but in the end, didn't matter. And referee, I think, has awarded an indirect free kick, if I'm not mistaken. And
indeed, it's an indirect free kick for Bangladesh.
And things going just from bad to worse. But what Sri Lanka needs to remember, this is the first of 4 games. So even though it doesn't go their way in this game, there is 3 more games to try and rectify it.
And that's full time. Full time. Bangladesh coming up 1-0 winners over Sri Lanka. That penalty and a sending off for Sri Lanka, meaning the game ending in a bizarre fashion.
Ladies and
That
gentlemen,
quick throw in
the
coming
final
in with
scores.
Sujan
Team
Pereira
Sri
having the
Lanka
ball
nil,
in his
Team
hand.
Bangladesh 1.
throwing that towards the live ball and everything to ponder upon. And not the best of starts which Sri Lanka were looking for in this 2021 SAFF Championship. Game ending 1-0 in favor of Bangladesh. Topu Barman, the goal scorer from the spot. Daxon Pusless committing the handball and collecting his second yellow card and getting dismissed, not helping Sri Lanka's cause. Sri Lanka threw everything at them at the closing stages, brought in all the strikers they had on the bench. Unfortunately, not the best as the officials to getting a talk to as Bangladesh players take the walk of victory. As Sri Lanka now a lot to do, lot to rethink, regroup. Like you said, Rahul, 3 more matches to go.
Exactly.
Winning those 3 games could.
Sri Lankan officials are not happy, but as we mentioned, this is the first of 4 games for Sri Lanka. The results didn't go Sri Lanka's way today, but matches against the likes of Nepal, India and Maldives to come, and Sri Lanka need to put this game behind them and look forward and learn the mistakes from today and make sure they don't repeat those mistakes when it comes to tough oppositions in the likes of Nepal, India and Maldives. So,
yeah, mind you, those oppositions not going to be easy. Especially India and Maldives. India sending a very strong team and Maldives also playing at home. So this was one of the games where Sri Lankans would have looked to get that 3 points, and the other game between Nepal and to salvage a draw with India or Maldives. However, it has ended up 1-0 loss to the Lankan Lions. And a couple of days to regroup as Tupu Barman has been awarded the man of the match for his defensive work and also scoring the winning goal.
Jersey number 4, Topu Barman.
And for Sri Lanka, of course, it's back to the drawing board, but it will be back on the 4th of October at 9 p.m. when they take on Nepal.
Yeah, I think it's a night game. It's kick-off at 9:30 Sri Lankan time, and Sri Lanka football will bring you live telecast of that game as well. So stay with Sri Lanka football to catch all the action of SAFF Championship 2021 as we bring this live telecast to a close. So it's Irshad Hashimdeen and Rahul Madhurava from the Combok saying good night and stay safe.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I say my teammate, they are very today hardworking, and yeah, very important for us because we have more 3 games. And I know what I know. Tournament, it was very difficult for every team. And first match very important for us. We achieved, and I just say now we have more time to prepare next match. Thank you.